Hi, I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our platforms. I'm here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
Matt, and I have had the distinct pleasure of tasting and dissecting Fino tequila. I also like what it stands for. Failure is not an option.
It is not an option.
No. We're flipping things around. We're instead of giving you folks all the particulars while you're listening and watching to us, we're going to just open it up and pour. We have been tasting and dissecting the Blanco and the Reposado. We're going to go with the Anejo tonight. F. We have operated, this is a very cool brand, folks, for a lot of reasons. But I'm going to pour mine into a Glencairn. And Matt, it looks a little bit darker, but not by much.
Not by much, and this is aged, let me pull their website back up, but I want to say it is aged 14 to 16 months in charred Jack Daniel's barrels.
Okay, so they are again using the Jack Daniel's barrels, which really shined in the Reposado. Really had a very, very amazing experience with that Reposado, which was really odd. There was a lot of fresh agave in that Reposado.
In the aroma, especially, and then the wood was kind of hidden until you tasted it.
Yeah. Now on this one, I'm getting a little bit more wood, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. You get some of those things we associate with barrel aging, the vanilla and caramel kind of notes in the aroma.
It's just very pleasant on the nose. There's surprising in a lot of levels, but now this one it's more in keeping with what you and I are used to.
Expect, yeah.
It's really sweet right down the middle too.
Sure is.
There's some like honey notes or something in there. There's some really nice spiciness on both sides. You know, this is 2020 that you're watching us in, and this is still giving us a little Christmas, a little spiciness. That pumpkin spice feeling all over again.
We can't escape fall. It's always fall, no matter what.
It's always fall. We're just screwing with the timeline, folks. Well, let's try it. I mean,
yeah, let's do it.
Digging this nose. Oh yeah. Much more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Much more spiciness, much more of the wood, and you can tell that they were using the whiskey barrel.
I got some sweetness up front too, right on the very edge of my tongue.
I also got. I still am getting agave. I'll tell you what. This is very reminiscent of what people have been getting out of G4, for instance.
I was thinking Ocho, but same kind of thing with older barrels, and really getting a lot of that agave forwardness in an añejo is not super common.
Yeah, instead of masking the agave, people are actually wanting to, people being distillers in certain areas are wanting to emphasize their agave. They don't want to lose it, with extra additives. It's just enough barrel to make it interesting, and to, as you said, fit into the parameters of what an añejo or reposado is, and then pull it out of the barrel and put it on the market.
Mm-hmm. What is interesting though is to hit the bare minimum, they would need 12 months, and some of these they're aging this to 18 months. So I guess they're getting some desired effect from the barrel. Otherwise, they would probably pull it out a little earlier if they're just doing it to be able to call it an añejo.
Well, now I'm getting some really much more significant legs and tears, more than we did with the reposado. And the Blanco was just a perfect sheeting of legs and tears. Nothing, there's nothing clinging, nothing cloying. It's just really very elegant. and I'll have to say I'm so impressed. We nominated it for Brand of Promise in the Blanco and Rebel, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're going to agree with me on this Anejo.
Okay, I downloaded it on my phone.
There you go. For those of you listening, what Matt did, he pulled up the nominee badge on his phone and flashed it on the screen.
Because Mike won't mail me one, so.
You know, hey, I got no budget. You know, the rest of these, I either dropped off somewhere and I have like 1 or 2 or 3 to cover the what it is, folks. It's just a coaster, you know, and an ice cream stick and some super glue. You know, I look like I'm bidding on tequila or something. What do we know what the price point is on this thing?
So you're going to be shocked by this, Mike. $33.99.
Ah, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's nuts. And so this is at Binny's Beverage Depot, which is a chain liquor store in the Chicago area.
Yes.
Illinois and Maryland, D.C. are the only areas where they currently have distribution, but we're hoping that they expand that market relatively quickly because I could sell a lot of this.
The world needs this tequila. This is it's a female-owned brand. Let's give you some particulars, okay? Very quickly. Fino Tequila comes out of Nome 1455. It is Rancho El Nacimiento. I mentioned this when you were listening to the Blanco. We have had one other tequila from this distillery last year. It was El Nacimiento Tequila that is their flagship brand. And it was also an old school tequila nominated as Brand of Promise in a lot of categories. But it is based in Arandas. Mm-hmm. And the Rancho, the El Nacimiento brand is considered the official tequila of the Illinois Bicentennial, which happened a couple of years back. So I don't know how they managed to get that, but what do we know about their process, Matt? I think
it's a brick oven, 30 hours in the brick oven, shredder roller milled and double distilled in copper. So all good stuff going on.
All good, and the price point to beat all price points.
Seriously.
Show the folks. I think you have the Blanco handy. I think we noticed something different. The Blanco is a much more substantial bottle. It's
a little bit taller.
Right.
And it's also got got an actual cork versus the synthetic cork of the Reposado and the Anejo. Both have the synthetic cork. Get my fingers out of the way so you can see a little bit. Yeah. And the Blanco doesn't have the little F on the top. So there's definitely some changes that were made between the Blanco and the Reposado as far as bottling goes, but they kept the general design, and it's a very, very elegant bottle. I like it. It's going to be a good display bottle to sit out at my house.
Yep. I agree. This will be something that needs to be on everybody's bar. It is value categoried as far as Tequila Aficionado is concerned in the categories, but it's not your bottom shelf tequila. It really is. I think it needs to be up there with the G4s of the world, because it's a very small distillery. There's maybe a handful of brands that come out of there. Matt says he's never had one coming from this distillery, but I had to be honest. I did have, and it was very old school. I mean, you don't run across these very often. And I got to tell you, in your Glencairn, this Anejo, it's so pretty. Just a pretty nose. And
mine's empty, but I can still get some around.
We don't wash your glassware, ladies and gentlemen. The next day, you want to, if you can avoid it, pick it up the next morning and see what you get out of it. Because sometimes if they use anything, or if they use enough additives, which is the primary additive that goes into a lot of tequilas, is glycerin. It goes into everything. I mean, you name it, it's not just tequila, it's just everything. It's just SOP. And I like that they're, like you said, they're using these end of life barrels. I told Matt previously, because this sounds rather euphemistic.
Yeah, well,
if that's even a word, but
barrel's got to go at some point.
You know what they do in California with those barrels? They cut them in half and put them and make them planters. And then that secondary, tertiary market for barrels, for Jack Daniel's barrels, that goes a long way, man.
Totally. And I joke around a lot because, with bourbon, you have to use a new barrel every time.
Right.
So there's a lot of tequila producers use bourbon barrels, but you go to the store now and everything is aged in bourbon barrels. You got maple syrup, you got beers, you got wine. So, it'll be interesting to see if the bourbon barrel becomes more of a hotter commodity and we see more of these tertiary or whatever comes after tertiary uses of the barrel.
Quadrangle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, no, you got to make me think in geometry terms. I don't. You're the teacher, man. I don't know. I tell you what is interesting though is that this fad about beers being aged in tequila barrels and things. Guess what, folks? Every tequila is aged in a whiskey barrel. All right. If not, they're aged in French oak barrels. So saying that they've been aged in tequila barrels, unless those barrels are virgin, which I would say 95% of the entire market of barrels in the tequila industry are not virgin.
At least 95, yeah.
Yeah, you're just drinking it out of another whiskey barrel. I hate
but it's good marketing.
Yeah, it's just perfect marketing. But that's our take on Fino Tequila. Congratulations to the young ladies who own the brand. Brand of Promise nominee in 2020. Very, very neat, very old school. You can see myself like I'm looking at myself through a filter. I like that. I love this bottle. I love the design. You can't beat the pricing. But that's our take on Fino Tequila. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
You've been watching and listening to us on Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our platforms. Please download anywhere where you get your podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that red button, subscribe. Unless, of course, you have commitment issues, then don't bother. But
not do it anyway.
Yeah.
It's an easier form of commitment.
Yeah, that's true.
Tequila will never do you wrong.
Whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Just wisely.